We're staying in our modifying objects.dwg file. And as you can see, I've zoomed to the extents of the drawing in the model tab by double clicking on the wheel to perform a zoom extent. We can also click on the pin here on the modify panel and allow that to pop back into the ribbon like so. We're going to take a look now at grips and grip editing. They're really useful tools and allow you to work with your geometry and your objects in your AutoCAD drawings. Just before we start though, we're going to zoom in on this area here. So zoom in a bit like so. You need to be able to see this little chair here in the corner and also your little array here and your octagonal tables like so. Now, just before we start looking at any of that, I'd like you to right click and go to options. Now, the reason we've gone to options is we're going to go to the selection tab and I want you just to check your grips settings. Make sure that show grips is on. And I'm going to show you that you don't want show grips within blocks. I'm going to switch it on and OK it. And I'm going to zoom in on this chair here. Now, this chair is a block. If I click on it now, every single grip inside that block displays. And it just looks really confusing. And it's really difficult to manipulate your blocks, in this case, your chair, in the drawing. So I'm just going to hit escape a couple of times and deselect that. If I right click again, go back to options and untick show grips within blocks and click on OK. When I select that block now, my chair block, can you see I've just got the insertion grip? So much easier to click on that grip and move the chair around the drawing. Hit escape to deselect the block and double click on the wheel to again zoom extent. We're going to zoom in now on the chairs and the array here. So if I click on the array like so, you can see it's our polar array as before. And you can see that we've got it all set up and ready to go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be naughty. I know I've told you not to break the rules and explode arrays, but I'm going to do it in this particular instance because I want to show you how grips are useful in your AutoCAD drawings. So select your polar array that is around your octagonal table. We're going to go to the Home tab on the ribbon, into the Modify panel, and just click on Explode. Now you'll notice anything that is involving an array disappears, and the Array tab on the ribbon also closes down. Now this is because they are now individual blocks. Can you see that? They're individual chairs that basically are not part of an associative array anymore. So I'll just hit escape to deselect them. Now the reason I've done that is I want to show you how these grips work. If I select a chair and I click on a grip, I can put that chair in the corner there, click there, and hit escape to deselect. So that's why when you're using blocks in AutoCAD, that insertion grip is the only one you need to see. That's why you untick in your options, show grips within blocks. Now that's using a block. Now we'll cover blocks later on in the course. If I just roll back on the wheel a notch here, can you see we've got a line just there forming part of the wall? Again, you'll notice there are grips, two endpoint grips and a midpoint grip. If I click on that midpoint grip, I can drag that line down there like that. I can click on an endpoint grip, drag it up like that. And you'll notice I'm making changes using the grips. I'll hit escape there to deselect and just undo those last few steps so that that line goes back to forming the wall. Now, the trick here is to utilize your grips to allow you to edit objects within your AutoCAD drawings. If I select that octagon and that octagon like that, what I can do now is I can utilize the grips to move my table. So if I select that grip there, it becomes a hot grip and I can right click and there are grip editing tools available to me on the shortcut menu. Now these vertex ones here are adding, stretching and removing a vertex in the polylines that form the octagons. You can ignore those. But we've got move, rotate, scale, mirror, base point, copy. All of these allow me to work with the grips. So I can now move both of those selected polylines. If I click on move, can you see I'm moving them using that grip? It's on the corner there of the octagon as I move around. Now the benefit I've got is I can now right click again though with these grips and select a base point. Now if I do that, it prompts me now to find a base point on those polylines other than the red selected hot grip. So if I do a shift and a right click and use geometric center, can you see there's the geometric center like we've used before? And now can you see I'm moving that from the center? So I might just move it across a little bit or over here, maybe down into this corner here, like that. Hit escape to deselect and the grips disappear. Now, as you can see, the chairs are kind of all over the place now, and I might not need all of those chairs. I might only need one or two, so I could easily erase some if I want to. But the benefit I have is they've all got that insertion point grip. So let's zoom in on this top chair here. And I'm going to select it, and there's my insertion point grip. There's only one grip. Click on it. I can move it. So as you can see, I can move a block around easily by clicking on the insertion point grip. But again, right click. If I go to something like rotate, I can rotate about that grip. So if I rotate it through 90 degrees, type the angle in, press enter, it's rotated it through 90 degrees. Click on the grip again, like so, and right click again. And I can perhaps stretch it, move it. Now you can't make the block bigger. You can't stretch a block. That's physically impossible. But I could mirror it. So if I click on mirror now, you'll see there it's asking for a second point. So can you see there that what we've got is a first point of our mirror line? If I come vertically down and click, it mirrors the object using the grip as well. Now, all of these tools, I'll just hit escape a couple of times to deselect the chair. Always a good habit to get into. When you're using grip editing, make sure that you deselect. But if I just zoom out again, you can see I can move, edit, rotate, and so on. And all of these tools are available with your grips, which is why your grip should always be on, because you can select an object and quickly manipulate it, move it, change its location. So you can see now that the drawing looks completely different to the way it did before. And we've done all of that using grips. One last thing. Let's just pan across, zoom in on our octagons. Now, these are polylines. Polylines have some really cool grips that you can use. If I click here, not only have we got the corner grips, but we've got these grips as well, which allow us to click and drag. And you'll notice now, can you see I'm dragging from the midpoint of that side of the table? So from that polygon, I'm kind of stretching that out. If I keep going like that along the polar tracking, I can now have a really weird shaped table if I want one. Obviously, I don't want one, so I'll undo that. But can you see how useful these grips can be? Because they allow you to manipulate your drawings in a regulated fashion. They're quite stringent in how they allow you to edit your polylines, your lines, your blocks, and so on. But they're quick and easy to use. And as long as you've got your grips switched on in AutoCAD, it allows you to do that quickly and easily with a right click on the mouse using the grip editing tools available.